Hello peasants of YouTube and welcome to another That's Just Joe live video. Where's my live? There it is. There's my live. Anyway, hope you're all doing well. It is currently Friday morning here in the UK and wanted to talk about a few things. Derpy Entertainment and Average Joe content. Oh yeah, well, I guess it is Average Joe content. That would have been better. But Average Joe, is that an American saying? I'm not quite sure. Anyway, welcome to the live. Just on for a little while today, not too long, but happy Friday to everyone. As you can see, the new setup. I'm quite happy with this setup. My partner helped me out with it. It's still in the same place and everything, but yeah, we're just trying something different. Anyway, I want to get into today's news, just talking a little bit about the DC universe going forward, the Shazam trailer that just recently came out. You can check out my reaction on my channel right now, and also a little bit of Doctor Who news. Again, I don't really want to talk too much Doctor Who because a lot of the stuff we need to talk about involves leaks and everything, but I'm going to try and keep it coy, basically. Keep it coy. Happy Friday. Right, now, let's start off with Shazam. That's epic setup, man. Thanks, Derpy Entertainment. Yeah, no, it's pretty good. I've got all my action figures on the shelves. Above, we've got a few helmets and statues and everything. We've got my Star Wars helmets here. My cat's coming in now, so you'll probably see her in a minute. I guess she's part of it. Hello, you. But yeah, no, it's a nice setup, definitely. If you watch my original videos, there was a lot of it was all far away basically. I was at the other end of the room and then it's here. So yeah, no, it's good to move it all about, and yeah, no, this is all looking really sick. Derpy Entertainment, it's almost 5 AM and I'm here for DC content. Well, you're here for DC content, so we'll get into the DC content just for you, Derpy. Is Derpy a bad word? I'm not even sure anymore. But let's get into Shazam to start off with. We'll talk a little bit about James Gunn's DC Studios possibly being announced today or tomorrow or Sunday or Monday. Yes, we still might have a little bit of a wait. But anyway, let's get into Shazam. So I have to say, I really enjoyed the Shazam trailer. I thought it was really good. I thought it was really well done. My problem is, looking back at it, I've watched the trailer a few times now, is that it actually gives too much away. And to be honest, I didn't even notice. Well, I did notice, but I wasn't thinking about it. And this shot's reversed, by the way. His logo is completely the wrong way. But I have to say, it looks action-packed. It looks fun. It's not taking itself too seriously. And that's what I loved about the first Shazam. Shazam is a completely new character to me. When I first saw the first film, I wasn't expecting much, but man, I had such a good time watching this film. I thought it was really creative. I thought it was funny, and also we'd had a lot of dark DC EU films and everything. Shazam was a nice light in it. I didn't think it would get a sequel after watching it, but it has, and here we are with Fury of the Gods. So it stars Zachary Levi returning as Shazam. It has all the same kids from the first one. The villain seems to be Helen Mirren and Rachel Zegler returning as, well, not returning, but playing gods, basically not happy that this boy has got the powers of Shazam. What it looks like, and hopefully I'm not spoiling it, is that all the other kids, the Shazam family, get their powers taken away one by one. But Billy Batson, he can't get his powers taken away because I guess he's the main Shazam. So he's the one that's going to have to fight them all and everything. But I think it's going to be a pretty straightforward movie. We've obviously been hearing there is a Wonder Woman cameo in this from Gal Gadot. I don't know if there will be, to be honest. Remember, we've got the Flash movie coming out in June, and that's gonna be mental. That film, that's gonna be fully packed with stuff. So yeah, what did you think of the Shazam trailer, Derpy? Let's see what you're saying. If Derpy is a good word. Okay, I'm not excited for the sequel because of the setup with what it was supposed to be originally. Oh, okay. What was the original? What was the... Oh, because the little worm dude. Yeah, I thought that'd be an interesting sequel, but the problem is he was going to involve the last villain of Shazam 1, and that was Dr. I've forgotten the name. But let's get it up. Dr. Thaddeus Bodog Savannah. That was one of the original characters. So that was the guy from the first one. I thought he was a cool villain. Actually, it was very straightforward. But I think what annoys me the most about Shazam, Derpy, is that Black Adam is a character from Shazam. And sorry, my phone keeps going off. And Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, unfortunately, just has a massive ego, and I'm not afraid to say that. I'm not mad to say that. I enjoyed the first movie very much, though. Oh, that's good then. No, the first movie is great. I could, that is rewatchable. That's the thing with that film. I find some of the comedy hasn't aged well in terms of it actually being funny. But I think it's just a fun film. It's really fun, man. It reminds me of those 90s sort of teen comedy films. But yeah, no, I'm the same. I love the first one. Am I apprehensive going in to see this one? Not really. I'm not apprehensive. I'm kind of going in knowing what I'll get, not expecting too much. So that's just one of the things. Let's switch to Cam 2 actually before oh no, Cam 2 is completely broken. That's fantastic news. Of course it's broken. I'm using my 4K camera at the moment, and the dummy battery's broken on it, so I'm having to use normal batteries at the moment. But we'll change over in a minute. But Shazam, yeah, I'm excited. I think I'm excited. I think so. Is this Cam 2? Oh god, I can't even figure out my own equipment. That's how bad it's got. Derpy Entertainment, especially the explicit scene, if you know what I'm talking about. They are nice. I enjoy the first movie. Explicit, especially the explicit scene. Explicit scene. I don't know what you're talking about. I'll look it up though. Shazam explicit scene. Explicit scene. No idea what you're talking about, Derpy, but cool. I'm glad you enjoyed it. That's the main thing at the end of the day. Anyway, okay, Shazam. Done. We've talked about Shazam. Go and check out my reaction and video and everything. And I think we'll go on to, well, I think what Derpy's waiting for is some DC Studios news. So there hasn't been news. I won't lie to you. There hasn't been news. The one with the prostitutes. Oh, when he goes into the... Is that when he goes into the strip club? Oh no, I know which scene you mean. Oh my god, see, this is what I mean. I love that film when they go, to the club and the kid says, "Hey, they were really nice," and he's just going in for the chicken wings, wasn't he? That was actually, you got free food out of it. So good on him. Good on him. Right, I think let's get into DC Studios news. I'm trying to figure out what's wrong with my other camera. I'm gonna just sort this out. I'm gonna be on a black screen for a little bit, so forgive me whilst I do this. But yeah, it's not detecting my camera, which is a shame. Oh well, we'll try and keep to this one. Anyway, DC Studios. Yeah, so apparently this is the new logo, by the way. I don't know what to believe anymore. James Gunn obviously announced that we will be getting some news about the DC Studios slate soon. And yeah, we still haven't heard anything. And he said this in January, by the way. So we've still got a little while to wait. I think what's going to happen overall is that he's going to leave it till the 31st. What I'm really hoping, and I think Bobber Talks talked about this. Again, go follow Bobber Talks if you haven't. He's a brilliant YouTuber who talks all DC and everything. By the way, my camera's probably going to die in a minute, so we'll see. James Gunn is Snyder's daddy. James Gunn is just James Gunn. Snyder is no longer involved at all. I think I think they would have worked well together though. I think we could get it tonight or Monday. Yeah, I do too. I think today could be, well, if you're saying it's 5 a.m. where you are, I'm guessing you're from the US. I'm possibly getting it later tonight. So later tonight for me, tomorrow daytime for you maybe. But I really think this slate is coming sooner than we think. But I do have a theory that he's going to wait till the 31st because James Gunn likes to be funny, and that would be funny if he left it to the 31st. What am I hoping from this announcement? I don't think he's going to announce loads. I think he's going to announce a few films leading up to 2026, maybe 2027. I think he'll announce Superman. There's no doubt in my mind about that. I think Superman is probably going to be the most he talks about. I think he has a story in his head. I think he has someone in mind. I think they're casting right now for these films. The problem is that you got to get the films written first. And like James Gunn said in one of his recent tweets, you know, they want to talk about, they want to do the story first and do a script before they start casting and everything. But come on, everybody that writes always has someone in mind. That someone isn't Henry Cavill though. I really think it's today or Tuesday. Yeah, I think it's Tuesday the 31st, by the way. Yeah, I think he would do that. But if it was going to be like a before then, it would be tonight, I think. The question is the title and tone for me for Superman. Do you mean in terms of the title of the film? So if it's like called Superman the last Kryptonian or something, The Last Sun. There's some great titles they can use there. I really like Superman Earth 1. I actually bought some Superman comics recently. I obviously bought the one James Gunn was reading whilst having breakfast one day, and that's All-Star Superman. It's apparently quite a different spin on the Superman story, and I find that really interesting, so I'm definitely going to give that a read. And then I also got, well, unfortunately I got the wrong comic, the wrong chapter, but still nice to add it. Earth 1 Volume 3, which is a great retelling. I really love the Earth 1 comics. I've only read the Batman ones, which I have here. I mean, this is one of the best Batman comics I've read. And they're just so good. And there's Green Lantern and Wonder Woman. I think there's a Flash as well. I think I would really like the idea that we're going to meet a young Clark Kent. He'll be working at the Daily Planet and he'll be Superman already. I think that's really interesting. If Lobo is the villain, that could be really, really, really interesting. And especially if it's Jason Momoa. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. I don't think it is Jason Momoa. I don't think Jason Momoa is playing Lobo. I don't know why. I have a feeling they're throwing us off the scent a bit. I think he's still Aquaman. But yeah, DC Studios, man. I'm very excited to see the titles for DC Studios. Like the Marvel titles, are they going to become unique? The only thing I was hoping with DC Studios was, I was really hoping they weren't going to make a cinematic universe. They were going to do all their little Batverses and Aquaverses and Wonderverses, and I thought that would be way more interesting than connecting everything. But in Gunn we trust, right? In Gunn we trust. We trust you, James Gunn, to deliver well. I think he will write a good Superman script. I think he's going to direct it eventually. I do. I don't think he won't. He would not miss up. He got offered Superman once. He will do it. That's if the studio say, "Are you sure, James?" I think he'll grab it straight away. In terms of who's going to direct it, we could get an announcement. Because remember, directors are chosen even during the writing process and everything and drafts. So I think we could get an announcement of a director. Actor, I don't think so. Story, concept art, maybe. But hey, script's still being written, so I don't know how it works. Yes, that's perfect title. Last Son of Krypton, but I had the tone and his powers to a degree similar to the Max Fleischer because of the cartoon, but stories, plot, and villains similar to the night he's writing. I agree. I think is Max Fleischer. I'm trying to think if I've got the right guy in mind at the moment. Let me just look that up, Derpy. Oh yeah, it has to 100% be like that. That would be perfect. I would love to see. I mean, we've seen that suit in live action, but yeah, there we go. Superman Lois, we obviously saw that in live action, but I'd love to see an evolution of this, basically, like in a, something realistic. I just think it looks neat, actually. I don't want the Henry Cavill sort of alien tech thing. I kind of want to ground it a little bit more. I really think they should base the story in when Superman was created in the early 1930s. Was it 1920s? Superman first came about. That's when they should be grounding these stories. They should do period pieces. I think it'd be way more interesting. And people have said to me, "Oh, it sounds like Captain America." Yeah, but he did it for one movie, and at the end, he woke up in 2011. So he did it. I mean, do the DC universe in like the 1920s, 30s, 40s. It'd be so interesting. And then leading up to the 60s, you've got everyone being old and stuff. I think it'd be cool. At least for the first chapter of DC leading into the Justice League movie, but mostly for the first Superman film. Yeah, I completely agree. Yes, exactly. Yeah, I don't know why nobody has gone, let's do that. I have heard that the Superman script, the J.J. Abrams film with the Val Zod character, I heard that was actually a period piece. I heard that was set in the 1940s, the original script, but Warner Brothers turned it down. They didn't like the idea. I guess old stuff doesn't sell to kids, but modern day, does. There we go. There goes my camera. That's how we do it here. But I guess it's something along those lines. But I just think Superman would. I think it would be really interesting seeing a period Superman film. Where he bends stuff like this. When he grabs shit. I think that'd be awesome. But yeah, I mean, we'll see, man. We'll see where this road takes us. I think it could be very interesting. I do. I'm just trying to sort my secondary camera out. For some reason, it doesn't work at the moment. There we go. Hey, there I am. It's good to see a pretty face once in a while. But yeah, DC Studios, I'm very interested in what he's going to announce. I think they're going to announce a new Batman film. I do, and I don't think he's going to be... I mean, Matt Reeves' Batman will be coming around about... when would that be? 2025, let's say the second one. 26, 27, 28, and 2028 for the third one. And then obviously you've got to think of all the HBO Max stuff around it and all that. But I don't think... I think they'll announce a new Batman. I don't think... I mean, we've got The Flash coming out soon. That's got Michael Keaton in and everything. I think it's not going to be the most confusing thing to look at 2 or 3 Batmans. I think you can tell the difference. People have seen Spider-Man No Way Home now. And by the time we get a third Batman film, they would have done the Kang Dynasty. So it's not going to be the hardest thing to kind of decipher. But I am very interested in this DC Studios. I'm looking forward to it completely. Give me titles. Give me the music. I want to hear the theme. I think it'll be John Williams doing it. Because he's not retired now. Don't know if you all heard. But, yeah. The best part of the Max Fleischer Superman is the tone and his powers. He bends steel, punched a Ray Hunt, lifts a building. And whilst just barely flying, mostly leaping. See that right there? Great example. Yeah. I completely agree. Sorry. Ooh. Very, very tired. It's 10 a.m. now. I've been up since 8. And just wanted to do a quick lie. Ray gun. I don't know who I could see them recasting either. The recast process is going to be quite hard, I think. I think that's going to be the most difficult thing to do. Is recasting people and getting general audiences on board, because they find these a pain in the ass reboots. That is just the truth. Every time I talk to my dad or my mum, even my sisters, and I say, yeah, they're doing a new Superman, they'll go, oh God, not another one. I mean, to be honest, it does take the mick. I've had, in my lifetime, 1, 2, 3, 4, I've had about 6 Supermans in my lifetime. That's including the TV shows. If you're talking about the movies, I've had 2, actually. So there's not many in the movies. So actually, it hasn't been that much at all. David Collins has the chin. 29 years old. Sorry, I'm really bad with names, as you probably can tell already, but let's search this man up. Oh yeah, is this the guy everyone's talking about at the moment? He's just been in Pearl. I really want to see Pearl. Oh yeah, he'd be a good Superman. Needs to bulk up a little bit, definitely. Yeah, there's some fan art of him already. That's brilliant. I'll just get this up in a minute, sorry. Oh wow, that's really good fan art actually. Sorry, my Facebook is being weird. There we go. How do you say his name? David Corenswet. Corenswet? I mean, Derpy, if you can write down how I can say it. Lifesaver. He's 29 years old. So this is something. So everyone's talking about it. He'd be great Superman, actually. It's the acting, though, for me. That is one of the biggest problems with Superman for me, is the performance. I find, and I'm so sorry, Derpy, if you're going to be offended by this, but I find Superman quite a boring character. I think he's really cool in terms. I mean, it's that symbol on his chest, most recognized thing in the whole world, in all cultures, in all countries. That Superman symbol spreads across. The problem with Cavill and Brandon Routh and Christopher Reeve Superman is that they're really boring. It's not about them being too good or anything. I think my problem with Cavill was I actually liked him more as Clark Kent in Batman v Superman than Man of Steel. I thought he was alright as Superman in Batman v Superman, but he was just too, I'm trying to be good. I shouldn't hurt anyone. I can't do this. And in Man of Steel, he was conflicted, but man, a good person shouldn't be conflicted about who they are, especially someone like that. Now, I'm not saying he has to be perfect, but at the end of the day, he has to have some sort of attitude, alien attitude to the world, and see everyone different. That's the thing with Superman. I don't see him as an alien in these films. Even the Christopher Reeve. But again, he's been raised as a human, so that's difficult to kind of maintain that. But I guess once you learn where you're from and everything, you would change as a person, wouldn't you? You would change. Derpy, yes, that's how you say it. And also, hear me out. Lois Lane should be Natalia Dyer. I know who that is. Is it Natalie Dyer or Natalia Dyer? It's actually the writing, my friend, not the acting. It's what's given to the actor or actress, always the writing. I completely agree, to be honest. It's like when you read the comics, like, it has to be, at the end of the day, when you're reading a comic, you're making the voice in your head, and that writing has to be pitch perfect. I do think it's the acting sometimes. I do, but it's the writing as well. Zack Snyder's writing isn't exactly the best. I mean, Man of Steel is pretty spot on, to be honest. See, I'm just going back and forth. This is the problem with Superman for me. It's just, I do think some of it's down to the acting. I have to disagree there, but I get your writing. The writing has to be good. And James Gunn has that. He's done some fantastic films. It's about casting the right actor as well. It is how they perceive Superman. I mean, what do I think of when I think of Superman? The S, obviously, the curly hair, and him going justice and all that. Sometimes, but it's mostly the writing. Okay, well, that's your opinion, and I agree with you in some sense. But I do think it is down to an actor sometimes, depending on the project. I mean, you could argue the CW universe is definitely down the right. It's definitely down to the writing. But yeah, Man of Steel, it's a complicated one because Superman is just so conflicted with if he's good or evil. And that's not Superman. Superman should just be like, yeah, I'm good. Like, why wouldn't I be? I guess when you discover who you really are, you're like, oh, I'm not who I thought I was. Krypton, I think the story of Krypton and everything is really interesting in terms of how they view the world. I kind of don't want to see that in the new Superman film. I don't want to see Krypton. I don't want to hear the fucking name Krypton. I want to see Clark Kent, Kal-El, on Earth, already active as Superman, maybe not fully knowing where he comes from. He knows shards of it, basically. I think that'd be a way more interesting story. The thing is most of the comics and most of the films and TV shows, correct me if I'm wrong, Derpy, but a lot of it is he's had these powers since he was a child. He goes to the Fortress of Solitude, or he finds out somehow where he's from, and then his father's like, yo, you got to be the symbol of hope, blah, 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 and then he becomes Superman. That's not a journey. That is very much, I'm Superman already. There has to be some sort of, I know a little bit about that I'm from space, I have these powers, I had a dad, but I don't know everything about Krypton. And that's what I loved about the Superman Returns deleted scene, by the way, is that he goes back to Krypton because there's hope it didn't explode. And it was him discovering more. He's on a journey to see where he was from. I thought that was really interesting. I actually enjoyed Man of Steel to a degree for the action and somewhat writing until the end of the movie. Have you ever watched the Max Fleischer cartoon? Yes, I have. Yeah, I used to watch it. Weirdly, I used to watch it with I had two mates called Jake and Sam, and they had a VHS of it. It was really random. They had a VHS of it, or DVD or something, and we used to watch them in bed during sleepovers. And sorry, I love that beginning. I love the style of the cartoon. I think it's really funny. Well, not funny, but like really creative for a time back then. I love a 50s, 60s sort of setting. I think it was 40s in the cartoon. I'm not 100% sure, but that show definitely inspired Christopher Reeve's Superman. There's no doubt about it. That world is very much Max Fleischer. Is it Max Fleischer? Yeah. So yeah. It's Superman is just, I haven't quite got on board yet. Superman's difficult for me. You need to get me to the level where I'm collecting loads of Superman stuff, definitely. I've already got a Man of Steel, by the way. I've got he's there somewhere. You can see him there. There he is. We also got some of the Batman merch. I mean, that's what I'd love to see. Like, I'd love to see a 1930s Batman. I think that'd be awesome. I've got the poster over there of the 1930s Batman. Oh yeah. Detective Comics number 27. Derpy, pull that up for a second. Just the first episode. There's moments I want you to pause for the tone and his powers. I haven't got time, unfortunately, and I don't want to get copyright. Oh no, I won't get copyright because it's quite old. But I think I watched it with you last time and I really enjoyed it. It was very good, but I'll pull it up another time. But anyway, I want to finish off the video talking a bit about Doctor Who. But thank you, Derpy. I just want to talk a bit about Doctor Who. Obviously, it's been filming at the moment around Wales, where I live. And there's been some set photos. And I think I could show this one because I talked about not too long ago that I didn't want to do any set leaks. I didn't want to do any set leak stuff about Doctor Who because at the end of the day, I don't want to spoil a show. It's the same with films, actually. Apart from the Flash, that's just really exciting, all the Flash stuff happening. But this is from Doctor Who Film and Locations on Twitter. There was this set photo. This was taken at Tenby, And funnily enough, Tenby is one of the places me and my partner go to visit quite a lot if we're why have I gone blank? I've gone blank. Oh god, yeah, Tenby. There we go. I was like, have I been to Tenby? One word since it's irrelevant. Now who? One word since it's relevant. Now who? What do you mean, Derpy? Anyway, so this is just a set photo from Doctor Who, and funnily enough, Doctor Who. Do you like Doctor Who, Derpy? Anyway, so this is so this is a set photo. This is our first actual on-set photo of Ncuti Gatwa as Doctor Who, and he's wearing a very different costume. He's very, and what's interesting is that it's still going to be the Jodie Whittaker TARDIS exterior. So yeah, I mean, it's looking interesting. I mean, it's just a TARDIS on top of a cliff. That's it. But that's they've been filming, and it's really weird because they announced Ncuti in his costume and everything, and they made a big blasé about it because obviously he's going to, be seen on location and that. But they've done a really good job at hiding him. But he is still filming Sex Education season 4 at the moment. So yeah, no, it's going to be interesting this season, Doctor Who. I'm very excited about it. I'm very excited. I'm really hoping. I don't know. I feel like the 60th anniversary specials are going to be really weird to watch. I think they're going to be really. I think they're just going to change the format completely. I think there's going to be like some sort of transition or bridge into Ncuti's era. To start off with, get rid of the bloody black bars. Stop filming at anamorphic. Yes, not currently what they are doing because modern writing, which I was saying, Doctor Who, you say. Oh, okay. Sorry, Derpy. I was just sorry. Clarification. It's still early in the morning for me. It's definitely early for you over there. No, yeah, I watched Doctor Who. I'm a huge Doctor Who fan of the modern era. I'm looking forward to the future of Doctor Who. I think it's been not brilliant in the past couple of years. That I've actually fallen off as a viewer. Not as a fan because obviously I have a lot of memories from watching David Tennant, Matt Smith, Peter Capaldi even. And, sorry. I should have got up early. But I really enjoy Doctor Who. I think it's a fantastic show. And I'm very much looking forward to the new era. Russ T. Davies coming back. And Ncuti Gatwa's been cast. And I think he's an absolutely fantastic actor. And I'm really looking forward to seeing what they do. But, I mean, this is just a set photo from... with the TARDIS and everything in Tenby. And again, Tenby is one of the places I visit with my fiance. Do a little holiday every time there. But yeah, I mean, there's not much to go on the Doctor Who stuff, just apart from Millie Gibson is obviously playing the companion, Ncuti Gatwa playing the Doctor. It looks like he's got a very different costume from the one we've seen there. I really want to see them do something different with this show. It has to be interesting. I really like Jodie Whittaker. I do. I love her as an actor. I think she's fantastic in a lot of stuff to do. But the writing, like you say, Derpy, let her down massively. It let her down massively. She was just so one-dimensional, that she just didn't give us flavour. She didn't give us, oh man, it's such a shame. I think she was like the sweetest and kindest Doctor we've ever seen. And it all actually makes sense after Capaldi's. But yeah, I find Jodie... I feel like there was more with Jodie, and I think we saw a little bit of that in The Timeless Children. But unfortunately, she just... Oh, man. Such a shame, because Jodie Whittaker's fantastic. And I think she was let down by the writing by far. There's no doubt in my mind she was let down by the writing. It was boring. It was just loads of talking. The wonderful thing about Moffat and T. Davis's Doctor Who's is they had substance. They had David Tennant explaining something, but in a really fun way, and doing it where it just sticks in your brain. Jodie's Doctor would just be talking and talking and talking and talking and talking, and nothing happening. And it's a shame. So I'm really hoping we get back to formality, back to formula, and we get good old Doctor Who again. It's not the best. They could have done it better, but since it's modern writing, they are targeting certain audiences. It's just why it's basing made at this point when it's being forced in front of you. That's how I stand. It could have been done better. Yeah, I completely agree. I think Doctor Who has its ups and downs like everything, to be honest. I think the Marvel Universe is in a lot of downs at the moment. Capaldi was weird too. Capello, do you mean Capaldi? Yeah, just make sure. I think Capaldi is a fantastic Doctor because he was very much an amalgamation of all of them. And that's the thing that gets me about Peter Capaldi, is that he is that talented. He is like, if you told me to cast someone that is a good representation of all the Doctors, him and before, I would have said Capaldi. I think he did something completely different. Again, I think it's the writing. It's the writing that let him down. It's the writing. They couldn't believe when they got Capaldi, by the way. When he said yes to it or whatever, they could not believe he got the role. Like, they couldn't believe he would say yes. And I think there's loads of reasons for that. So just try to get something up. But man, Capaldi was great, and I feel like he was shoved out. I actually met Peter Capaldi at where I work and everything, and he was really nice. And it was just a shame to see his Doctor get thrown away like that. I mean, he was really good in season 8, but unfortunately it was a bit too dark for younger audiences and everything, so they did have to tone it down. But then they made it a story arc, which worked in essence. But at the end of the day, the Doctor's been alive for 2,000 years or whatever. He knows better. I guess, but it still has the beginnings of the modern writing. Well, that's the thing. Modern writing. It's interesting, that modern writing phrase. I mean, how do you mean modern writing? That's what I want to know, Derpy. If you're talking about that it's very fresh and current, then yeah, because that's where they try and base the time period in. Modern writing. But anyway, I think Capaldi, interesting Doctor, and I'm always sad about his story of leaving and everything. He was a great Doctor Who. There's no doubt about it. Right, anyway, Derpy and anybody watching this back, thank you so much for watching. I think I'm done here for today. Let's hope we're getting news. DC Studios news. That's what I'm wanting. That's what I'm waiting for. I am like prepped for battle. I've got all my collectibles out. I've got everything prepared for this DC Studios announcement, and I'm very nervous. I'm actually getting more nervous as we count down the days. Yeah, it's a weird one. Will they announce projects with all these characters that we see on screen right now? That's my question. Is that the slate there? Could be. Today's the day. Today is the end of the Republic. Is this when I go on Twitter and there's news? There's no news, but hey, today might be the day, Derpy. He believes in it, yeah. I mean, we'll see. Actually, before I go, I want to talk a little bit about the Batverse. Going forward. So I made this, I've just done this little Photoshop. We got to pray that DC Studios announcement's today. I don't think it is. Oh God, I have a feeling. I don't think he'd do it on a Saturday, because we need a weekend to recover. I don't think it's going to be like the most amazing news though. I really don't. And that's fine. Like I'm if it's literally what I've guessed and what you've guessed, I would be fine with that, maybe. I'm not we need to lower our expectations basically. We know one of the things is Superman. We know one of the things is Lobo. I think that's a TV show, by the way. I mean, Green Lantern would be the win, wouldn't it? That would be the win. Anyway, let's talk about the Batverse quickly. I did this timeline, very, very Marvel style, of what we could see. Let me get rid of my camera quickly. But this is a bit of what I was thinking we could do. So obviously we've got the Penguin TV show coming up first. That's definitely happening, no doubt in my mind. That starts filming in a couple of weeks, actually. Here in the UK? No, in New York. And then the next thing we get is the Batman Part 2 in 2025. I think that's definitely happening. Arkham Asylum, I really think they could make a HBO Max show of this. I think it would be really interesting. We've got a Gotham City Police Department show. I think that should happen. This hasn't been announced, by the way. This was cancelled. And then this and Arkham... the Gotham City Police Department became Arkham Asylum, basically. Pattinson is the best Batman portrayal because it was grounded and detective aspect, not so much for Bruce, but he felt like year one Bruce, which is why he was very emo in year two story. Well, what's great about the Batman is that it's called the Batman, and 90% of the film has Batman in it. I think this is a great... Year two is fantastic. Is a fantastic place to start because he's not fully done his Bruce Wayne yet. He hasn't done the Bruce Wayne persona. When you see him as Batman, that is very much the real Bruce Wayne. But yeah, 90% of the film you see him as Batman. I thought the detective aspect of the film was good, but unfortunately, I wasn't at the point where my jaw was on the floor about finding something out. I'm really hoping that with the second film, I'm hoping I have more gasp moments and some actual interesting detective stuff. A lot of the things in here was just like, oh yeah, just put these ciphers together and it's this drive and then oh my god, he's gonna flood the city. Even though the whole movie you heard in the background, oh, we live near a floodgate, oh, we're in a crater and everything. I don't know why they're from Bristol, but yeah, you heard a lot of that. Anyway, I'm going way off topic now, but I think it's cool scene. I really think Batman Part 2 is where Alfred's like, yo, Bruce, you need to sort this out. You need to go out with this girl. Might be Vicky Vale or something. I'm hoping Catwoman's not in the second one. I really hope she's not in the second one. I want to kind of leave her out of the picture. Let him meet a grounded human being that's not involved in being a vigilante, going on a date with her, trying to be a normal person, but also put on this persona of a rich billionaire, Bruce Wayne. I think that is what would be cool for the second one. Him trying to tear the cow off. I think that would be way more interesting. But I completely agree with their take on part one on year two. I heard a lot of people say, "Oh, Bruce Wayne was boring and disgusting." Well, yeah, he is, because that's the real him. Unless he's got the costume on, it looks all natural. But when he's got the costume off, it doesn't look natural at all. I do think if Reeves was smart, he'd do Mr. Freeze, considering it was November at the end of the movie, just saying, and the city flooded. I completely agree. I think they could do... I mean, it's a bit Batman v Superman-y this, but they could do an opening where Victor... is he called Victor Freeze? He's probably not, is he? He's Victor something. And his wife are caught up in the flood, and she is comatose by the disaster of the Gotham flooding. And obviously he blames Batman because Batman didn't save him. And remember on the news in Arkham Asylum, it says Gotham vigilante saves hundreds of lives or something. Didn't save his wife, and now he's got to find a cure. It'd be interesting to see how they do Mr. Freeze's powers in the Reeves verse. I think, yeah, I completely agree with you, Derpy. There is a perfect setup to have Gotham frozen over. The flood was actually what comatosed his wife and why she's ill and everything. She is frozen or whatever, and he's trying to keep her alive, and he blames Batman. And Victor, I think Victor could be interesting, and you can involve Harvey Dent in the story. I think it's time to bring in Harvey Dent. I know this happens every second movie or so, but Harvey Dent is such an interesting character, and I don't mean he turns into Two-Face and everything, but he's such a good duality, sort of duo with Batman in the comics. I think they have to do it. They have to bring him in. Anyway, getting back into the timeline I created, especially for this video. Arkham Asylum show. Gotham City Police Department show. I put Catwoman show, and I think this could be a movie, not like that god-awful Halle Berry movie, but I think there is a chance Zoe Kravitz will do a HBO Max Catwoman show. And then obviously we get Batman Part 3, which would be the final chapter in the trilogy. I really hope Robert Pattinson just carries on and does loads of Batman films, but I think realistically, Matt Reeves will want to do a trilogy. Who knows? Matt Reeves might want to leave, but Pattinson's like, nah, I still have more story to tell, and another director comes on board for Part 4 and onwards. You never know, but realistically, it's probably a trilogy. And then I have, it's controversial, I have put Gotham Knights, and I haven't put HBO Max above it, because it could be a film. You could do a really interesting film where Batman has become Batman, the Batman we know, by Part 3. And then other people are being inspired by him to be vigilantes. And you can make an awesome film out of that, or TV show. But that was my Batverse timeline, basically. I really like that logo. I have saved it a few times. But yeah, so I think the Batman is such a fantastic setup to the world of the Batverse, and yeah, they've got to do more. I mean, look, I'm a massive fan of it, man. I mean, I love it. I love the Batman. Look, I've even got a 3D cutout leg. I've got a lot of Batman stuff, basically. I've got some packed away. I had to pack away a few things when we were doing this room last night. But yeah, let's see what the DC Universe has in future. I don't really know what to do in terms of the announcement. If they're doing it, streaming it live, I'm probably going to... should I stream my live reaction? I don't know. Or just do a pre-recorded thing. I might do a pre-recorded thing. It depends what's happening. James Gunn better not be announcing this on Twitter. That tease at the end of the movie, beware the Court of Owls that watches all the time, ruling Gotham from a shadowed perch, behind granite and lime, they watch at your hearth, they watch you in your bed. Speak not a whispered about them, or they'll send a talon for your head. I think the Court of Owls will be interesting, actually. I think the Court of Owls could be really cool in Part 3. But the Talon... I think the Talon is the problem because it's not a very recognised villain. I can see the Joker somehow infiltrating the Court of Owls. I think that'd be really, really, really interesting. Because I there's no doubt Barry Keoghan is going to return as Joker in Part 3. There's no doubt. Or they're doing a spin-off project with him. I don't know. Anyway, guys, I'm definitely ending the video there. But thank you for watching Derpy. And anybody watching back now, thank you for watching. Please make sure you subscribe to the channel. Like this video. Obviously, leave comments below. Let's have a discussion about everything that's going on. Hopefully, we're going to hear about James Gunn's DC studio soon. Hopefully, Shazam Fury of the Deep, Fury of the Gods is going to be really good. And Doctor Who, it looks like another Doctor Who. So, yeah. But anyway, thanks for tuning in. Look out for some new videos coming up. I've got some content planned for this for the next week, and yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to talking about all the DC Studios news. I'll definitely be doing some sort of after show live thing, so make sure you come on down, watch that after James Gunn's announcement. Let's hope he's not just announcing it on Twitter. Anyway, thank you very much, Derpy, for taking part in the conversation, most of all. No worries, stay warm, no worries, I will. And anyway, thank you very much, guys. May the force be with you all. Goodbye. Where's the button?